4. Rent parties. Because it influenced my utopia, I must mention why I choose Fatswaller to be the role model for the character of Beacon Rewind. Of course, Fatswaller was not born in Passaic, but in New York, and participated in the Harlem Renaissance in the 20s and 30s, during which rent parties played a predominant role. Harlem rents were exorbitant, or paradoxically, African American families were confined there because whites refused to pay the unfair prices. In the late 20s, a typical white working-class family in New York paid $6.67 per month per room, while a black family paid $9.50 for the same space. From Harlem, The Making of a Ghetto, Negro New York, 1819-1930, Gilbert Ossowski, 1963. So a solidarity system was created to help the inhabitants pay the rent. A piano would be brought into an apartment, and jazz musicians would compete and entertain partygoers on Saturday nights, charging them anywhere from 10 cents to $1 plus drinks. The money collected would cover the rent and pay the musician. Pianists such as James P. Johnson, Willie the Lion Smith, and Fatswaller developed their amazing skills and pushed jazz music to the forefront of pop culture through these rent parties. Competition over the piano was fierce. Duke Ellington remembered the vibe and wrote about the pianist Art Tatum. I knew that once in New York he would be drawn into the gladiator scene with some real bad cats. I could just see the lion cigar at the corner of his mouth, standing over him while he played, and on the verge of saying, "Get up, I'll show you how it's supposed to go." Music is My Mistress by Duke Ellington. Once more, a community reacted to oppression by creating an art form and culture, and that's the element that Fats represents in the story. Of course, the kids didn't just dance, they acted as well. Putting them in front of the camera among the professional actors created a level of uncertainty that kept the actor on their toes. This combination created what I consider to be the perfect environment for the type of spontaneous acting that I like. But the magic really showed up near the end of the shooting when my editor Jeff finished editing the whole Fatswaller story before we had wrapped production. It was about 15 minutes. For the last scene of the movie, I wanted everyone involved with Beacon Rewind, including the dancers, to watch the film they had shot. We filmed them watching it for the first time and used this footage for the ending. I wanted to see them get taken in by the images, capturing their first unfiltered expression before the knee-jerk reaction to act kicked in. I think that didn't expect much from those scenes, considering how rushed they were and perhaps had forgotten about them by the end of principal photography. So I got exactly what I was hoping for, an expression of genuine surprise, pride and laughter, lot of laughter. They would look at one another as if to say, "That's my part," and "Look, there you are." Watching the sincere expressions of joy on their face, I rediscovered what it was like to watch Super 8 home movies. As kids, my brother and I would purposely wait some years before allowing ourselves to watch our home movies again. I remember studying each scratch on the image as a mark of a previous viewing. In fact, I would remember the last screening even rather than the actual moment captured on the film. That's the problem with photography. It records and erases at the same time. But again, I'm stepping out of the subject. After this experience, I began to think that my utopia was not so utopian. People really enjoyed the film because they were in it, just as I had experienced in my initial Luxor idea. The group received direct gratification for their effort. It did not come from compliment or flattery, but rather from the experience of witnessing their own creation. And this wasn't the same as just a single creator admiring his work. It was a communal effort and a communal admiration. It was as if each participant's feeling has flooded into those of the other, creating something larger. And the key to my system was this: people who shoot the film were the ones who watched it. There were no concentration of power, so each person has the same amount of connection with the film. No hype, no coercive advertising, and no room for idolization. This was the first time they had seen the film, and they had been given no direction on how to act when they saw it. So I assume that it was absolutely sincere reaction. I was now hoping it could exist in the real world, allowing my utopia to be a functioning system. One that could be reproduced everywhere, allowing for everyone to enjoy the gratification of being a part of a creative process.